Hi students, in this video we are going to see the different Mauryan kings. In the last video we have seen the sources to know about the Mauryan Empire. Okay, and now we are going to see the different kings of Mauryan Empire. First ruler what we are going to learn about is the Chandragupta Maurya. Chandragupta Maurya was the founder of Mauryan Empire. Chandragupta Maurya is the founder of Mauryan Empire. We do not know much about his childhood, but we can say, or the history says that he was an efficient ruler. And according to the legend, he had been dismissed from the service of Nandas. It is another dynasty who ruled before him. He met Kaudilya at Takshashila. Kaudilya, who later became the famous as Chanakya, was the son of a Brahmin. Kaudilya too was wronged by the Nandas. He therefore joined hands with Chandragupta to destroy the Nanda dynasty. Both were sent out by the Nanda kings from their kingdom. Both were wronged. It was some misunderstanding. So both the Chanakya and Chandragupta Maurya both were sent out from the kingdom of Nandas. And these both joined together and they planned to destroy the Nanda dynasty, and they took revenge. After a long series of battle between Chandragupta Maurya and Nanda, this led to the emergence of a new dynasty. That means in most of the wars, Chandragupta Maurya won and Chandragupta Maurya became the ruler, and he formed a new dynasty called the Mauryan dynasty. Alexander the Greek ruler had conquered many states in northwestern part of India. After his death, his territories in the Indian subcontinent were taken over by Chandragupta Maurya. With the help of Chanakya, he embarked on the consolidation process of his empire. You might have heard about the Alexander the Great. So he is the king who conquered the whole world. So he also conquered most part of India. So when he left India, Chandragupta Maurya took over the charge of the area which was under the control of Alexander. And with the help of Chanakya, what did he do? He consolidated the area. Joined all the areas and he made a large empire. In 305 BC, India was again attacked by Seleucus, the former general under Alexander. Chandragupta defeated. According to the treaty signed with Seleucus, Chandragupta got Kabul, Kandahar, Herat, Beluchistan from the Greek commander. So there was another attack from the Seleucus, who was the commander of former general of Alexander, but he was defeated by Chandragupta, and in return Chandragupta took some of the areas which was under the control of Seleucus, which was those areas: Kabul, Kandahar, Herat, Beluchistan. Seleucus gave his daughter Helen. Also, Seleucus gave his daughter Helen in marriage to Chandragupta Maurya. After this victory, Chandragupta appointed Pushyagupta as the governor of his northwestern province. He then proceeded to the south and captured some territories there. And he gave control to his governor Pushyagupta in his country, and he forwarded to south part of India, and there he conquered some of the areas, and it was under his control. Chandragupta's empire extended from Kabul to Kandahar in the northwest to Mysore in south, from the Bengal in the east to Saurashtra in the west. That means almost 90% of the present India was ruled by Chandragupta Maurya. According to the Jain tradition, after ruling for 14 years, he renounced the world. He handed over his kingdom to his son Bindusara. He was a true follower of Jainism. So what did he do? He ruled the country for 24 years. Then he renounced from all worldly pleasures, and he followed the sannyasa, and he gave his powers to his son Bindusara. Okay, Bindusara succeeded his father Chandragupta Maurya. The Greek historian Athenacus calls him the slayer of foes. He conquered many parts of South India after defeating 16 rulers. During his rule, he faced a revolt in Takshashila. It was quelled by his second son Ashoka, who was the governor there. Bindusara maintained friendly relations with the rulers of Greece. And Bindusara succeeded his father, who Chandragupta Maurya. Bindusara came as the after Chandragupta Maurya, Bindusara came as the ruler, and he was called the slayer of foes, the killer of enemies. Killer of enemies. The history says he was very weak in army or weak in his war matters, but still he defeated all his enemies. It is unknown that how he defeated. That's why the Greek historian Athenacus called him the slayer of foes, the killer of enemies. How he killed his enemies, it was not known. And after him, who took charge? Ashoka. His son Ashoka took charge, and with this particular king Ashoka, the Mauryan dynasty is more famous. Ashoka succeeded to the throne after his father Bindusara's death. On ascending the throne, Ashoka took the title of Devanama Priya, the beloved of gods, and Priyadarshi, the beautiful one. So, what was the name of Ashoka he took for himself? One is Devanama Priya, one who is beloved of gods, and another one Priyadarshi, the beautiful one. Okay, and Kalinga War. So Ashoka is more famous with the Kalinga War. Okay, so we will go little detail with what is Kalinga War. After ascending the throne, Ashoka fought a famous Kalinga War. According to Megasthenes, the Greek historian at the court of Chandragupta Maurya, the ruler of Kalinga had a powerful army comprising infantry, cavalry, and elephants. Ashoka faced tough resistance. According to the Rock Edict 13, both sides suffered losses, but people of Kalinga suffered the most. Though Ashoka won the war, it had far-reaching consequences for him and his empire. So Ashoka got a war with another country, and it happened in the place called Kalinga. The war happened in the place called Kalinga. Ashoka got a good army. Both sides, the opposite side and Ashoka side, both had injuries and deaths. But the people of Kalinga suffered most because it happened in the place Kalinga. Ashoka won the war, but still he had faced a number of consequences due to his war. And what is that we are going to see in the next part? Consequences of Kalinga war. What changes Kalinga war made in Ashoka? That is what we are going to see. What changes it made in Ashoka? The Kalinga war had a profound effect on the policies and personality of Ashoka. The death and the destruction caused by the Kalinga war brought about a great change in the personal and political life of Ashoka. He abandoned the policy of conquest by force, Bheri Ghosha, and the ambition of victory in all directions, Digvijay, and embraced the policy of religion. Okay, so what is the major change? It changed his political and personal life. What is that political life? He stopped or abandoned, he gave up the policy of conquest by force, by war. I have to acquire, or the policy of war he completely gave up. Okay, and to conquer all the areas around him, the policy he avoided and embraced the policy of religion. That means he accepted what? The religion and faith, the faith in God. Then Kalinga changed Ashoka's personal life. He stopped hunting and eating meat and abandoned the life of luxury. What about his personal life? He stopped hunting animals or eating meat. And what it is? He abandoned the life. He gave up the life of luxury. He led a normal life, a simple life. The prisoners of war were used for agricultural work. It resulted in the increase in production and brought about economic prosperity in his empire. So normally the prisoners were considered as slaves, or they kept always in prison. But now what? He gave them freedom and he asked them to do agricultural work. As a result, what happened? The production in the agricultural field, it increased. It led to the prosperity of the Mauryan Empire, both economic prosperity. Ashoka himself went on tours to preach Buddhism to people. It also sent missionaries. He also sent missionaries to various parts of the world. He sent his daughter Sangamitra and son Mahindra to Sri Lanka to propagate Buddhism. Ashoka himself left the palace and went to teach the Buddhism. Also, he sent the missionaries to various parts, the Buddhist sannyasis to the various part of the countries or various some other countries, and he sent his daughter Sangamitra and son to teach to propagate Buddhism in Sri Lanka. Ashoka, after Kalinga War, embraced Buddhism and followed some Buddhist principles in his state policy like non-violence and disapproval of empty rituals. So after the Kalinga War, we already said he adopted or he accepted the Buddhist religion, and some of the ideas he even asked the people to follow. What was that? Non-violence and disapproval of empty rituals. Avoid empty rituals. What is not necessary? Especially what we can say, the killing of animals. He got erected several pillars and edicts. Already we have seen Ashoka pillars and edicts in which he wrote the teachings of Buddhism and the new policies of his country. He gave a donation to Buddhist viharas. On account of abandonment of war, there was a decline in military preparedness and efficiency. So when he gave up the war, he did not give any importance to the changes that, or what we can say, he did not mind the army. So now onwards, he was giving to the he was giving priority to his country, the development of his people, not to the army. So as a result, what happened? The military became inefficient. Extent of Ashoka's empire. After his victory of Kalinga, Ashoka empire extended from Hindu Kush in northwest to river Pemar in south. It also included some parts of Nepal in the north and Kabul, Herat and Kandahar provinces outside the present boundary of India. And means, as I said, the same territories which his grandfather Chandragupta Maurya captured, all those were under the control of Ashoka. Okay, and some part of Nepal also it was under the control of Ashoka, and he kept all the territories under his control. Okay, and some of the areas which were under his control was now in outside of India. This is about the famous Mauryan empires. About the three emperors we discussed, which are they? One is Chandragupta Maurya, second one Bindusara, and third one Ashoka. And mostly we discussed about the Ashoka and his life, and about the Kalinga War, which changed his life and the way of life he adopted. Everything we discussed in chapter. Hope it is very clear for you. So if there is any doubt, you can comment or you can ask in the classes. Okay. We will continue the next portion, the Maurya administration, in the next class. Thank you.